you. Okay. So to see more about CAPI, please visit our website at www.capi.kenya.org and you will get all the information about CAPI. So to just jump straight into our presentation, so we are looking at the qualified person for pharmacovigilance, and where we got the definition was this was a role that was first established in EU in the year 2004, I think in 2010, and the EU regulation came up with a definition for who a qualified person for pharmacovigilance is. And it states that this is an individual, usually an employee of a pharmaceutical company, who is personally held responsible for safety of human pharmaceutical products that are marketed by the company in any given territory. It further states that the MAH shall permanently and continuously at its disposal have an appropriately qualified person for pharmacovigilance in the region, and the person must adequately have knowledge and skills to manage PV capabilities, and therefore they should be best in the areas coming from medicine, pharmaceutical sciences, epidemiology, and biostatistics. So presently what we are seeing in our region across sub-Saharan Africa, we are seeing regulations coming up from our health authorities, especially coming from Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and quite closely at home, Tanzania and Uganda have already come up with guidelines on how the QPPV is supposed to be established. Kenya was the leader, but currently we still have draft guidelines, and we hope that very soon we're going to be having guidelines helping us understand what is expected in the establishment of the role. But what we are seeing from the current mandate of the health authority is that the position or the person who's holding this position of the QPPV shall essentially become a pharmacist, or is going to be the pharmacist who's a custodian of this role. So at universal health coverage, again, I won't get so much into the details as was presented by both my leaders here. But what we are saying is essentially, in the whole dynamic of universal health coverage, where is the QPPV centered? We are saying the adaptation of the universal health coverage, it's important for us to help the Wanjiko. And how we are doing this and how we foresee this, especially as an industry, is we foresee an increase in new generation drug registration for both innovative and generic products. We also see a lot more of locally led clinical trials, either interventional or non-interventional studies. We also expect an increase in some of the borderline activities, like patient support programs, compassionate use programs. We're expecting to see a lot of private-public partnerships with different arms of the Ministry of Health. And we're saying that in all these roles that we are foreseeing, the QPPV is a person who's going to be having the rubber stamp of the final initiation of all these processes at the pharmaceutical industry. Why? Because we have to ensure that GVP processes, good pharmacovigilance practices, are enforced whenever it comes to safeguarding the patients, meeting the HA requirements, and as well as keeping the prescribers informed on the latest information and technologies of our products. So some of the specific duties that we do on a day-to-day basis, some of them might vary from one company to another, but in a nutshell, what we do is we prepare and maintain the pharmacovigilance system master file. This is in a nutshell the roadmap or the Bible of how a PV system is set up in any pharmaceutical company. We also take part in post-market surveillance, drug withdrawals, product recalls from the market. We enhance data privacy. I'm sure most of us became aware about data privacy with the Facebook scandal. So as QPPVs, long before then, we have always been maintaining data privacy by ensuring that all safety reporting has all the patient information that we have is already anonymized by having only patient identifiers and hiding the patient profiles, just to ensure that the data we give has not compromised the privacy of the patients. We also ensure audit, inspection ready of the companies. We conduct PV trainings at all levels for anyone who is working directly with the organization or affiliated from the organization. So basically it could be from the CEO all the way to the watchman, to your partners. All of them are taken through the PV program or PB training and the standards that you have set up, and we ensure that their records are set. We also take we are members of certain committees like the non-clinical, clinical trials, borderline activities, like I mentioned earlier, and we also ensure that we are members of the product quality and safety committee, where we are able to see the differences between, or the association between product technical complaints and AE reporting. So I'll not get so much into this, but overall what I wanted to emphasize on is at the end of the day we have an exciting role that is available for pharmacists. And I will let my leader continue with more exciting things of what we do in QPPV.
That's another picture you can take, handshake. So just to summarize on the roles that we have seen, to make this very quick summary, that pharmacovigilance, as you can see, and over the years that we have seen it develop, it's getting into the nitty-gritties of every pharma company to make sure that whatever comes out has a direct impact on patient safety, right? And so, as a QPPV, as a qualified person for pharmacovigilance, in summary, for any other company that you will work in, both multinationals as well as the local companies, the generic companies that are coming up, you will have to demonstrate that you as a QPPV have full oversight of the patient safety related issues on your medicine for that company, right? You have to be part and parcel of that larger equation, whatever is working. It's okay, right? So that the safety profile of your products, you know what is happening in there, right? For the global companies, you are the local QPPV who links to the global QPPV, right? So there is a much bigger role than what you see that, oh, but I'm just looking at working in one small company, whether it's a generic company or a multinational here. No, it's a much, much bigger role, right? And in summary, due to time constraints, I want to also re-emphasize that we as pharmacists should see this bigger role, because just the way Dr. Wangui mentioned that the local regulations are tending to say that the pharmacist should be the QPPV for the company, there is a role we also have to play for our veterinary medicines. Animal health also have a requirement for QPPV. So whenever I hear that our pharmacists are saying that we are jobless, I struggle, and everybody keeps asking me. Yesterday we were in a discussion that, Jayesh, what's now coming up, right? This is what's coming up. As pharmacists, we have the opportunity to look beyond what we are doing currently. So in summary, the QPPV is kind of working in a very concise framework. However, like an engine, it's a complicated setup. But you as a QPPV have to have an important oversight in each and every element of that engine, right? So this is what's coming up. And then as a QPPV, you are the one who is linking up all the other aspects of that company that you work for to make sure that from the time of regulation to registration to the time that the last delivery is made to the patient, the product remains potent and the patient remains the core beneficiary of this. Important bit that as people want to take up this role, there are sanctions. So if there are things that go wrong, then things can go drastically wrong either for the company, who can be sanctioned, or directly the QPPV, or both. Right? So this is an underlying statement to say that it's an important role, but it's a role of responsibility. And when I come in, when Wangui goes back to work, there is this bit that we always said that yes, we are very busy, it's really work intensive, but it is fulfilling. It's constructive. What we do, we feel good at this, right? We know we are adding value to the entire organization because at the end of the day, Wanjiku is benefiting, right? So in summary, as I close, Kenya has made great progress, We've come a long way, many steps have been taken. We've seen what the President has also been re-emphasizing. And the point for us to note here today is we cannot do anything in the future if we are not compliant. And QPPV roles remain one of the key compliant aspects for your company. Let us follow what the regulations are telling us, and the fact that as a pharmacist, I see this for all of us as a key important emerging role, where you and I will play directly a key role to make sure that UHC for Kenya is true.